We're joined by attorney Allison Jones, who is representing four women who have filed a lawsuit against LSU Health. One of them filed this week to try to be reinstated. Correct, Allison? Am I on base here?
You're correct. Four very courageous women, all four of whom have filed EEOC charges and discrimination complaints, and one of whom, Dr. Jennifer Warner, has had to file a lawsuit seeking reinstatement because she has been illegally placed on administrative leave.
Dr. Ghali decided to step aside, to step down as chancellor yesterday, and he's still going to remain on the faculty, though, but will not be a department head. Am I describing what has happened? Is that where we are now with this?
That's where we currently are. His decision to resign as chancellor and department chair is clearly a step in the right direction. As for whether he'll remain at the medical school, well, that's something that we'll see. LSU claims to have done an investigation of claims. Given the evidence that I reviewed, I don't think that there could be complete clearance in that investigation. But interestingly, LSU has not made that investigatory report public. So we're going to be requesting a copy of the investigation. And, of course, we've got our evidence, and we're prepared to go forward with litigation if necessary.
Allison, will you remind us of what you can actually ask for as far as a public records request and what you would be entitled to and how much pushback they can actually legally give you?
Well, they can give some pushback to a public records request, but what's interesting here is that when LSU conducted an independent investigation of its football team, they could publish that independent investigation and email it to everyone in the whole world. Now they claim to have done an investigation of Dr. Ghali, and yet nobody knows where this investigation is or what it's concluded. We're certainly entitled to a copy of that investigation. If they're relying upon it, then we're entitled to get it.
What have they told you about it? I mean, have they answered you at all about, will you be getting it, will you not be getting it, or what's the timetable?
The only thing we know about the investigation is what Dr. Ghali said. Then that's what makes it all the more suspicious. I want a copy of the actual investigation. I want to know who they interviewed, what the people they interviewed told them, what type of evidence they collected. Did they choose to interview the right people or the wrong people? How was this investigation conducted? We have lots of questions about this investigation, and we're entitled to a copy of it. We're going to get a copy of it, and we're going to combine that with the evidence that we have and go forward to seek justice for the four women that I represent who are in fear of retaliation on a day-to-day basis at the institution that they have given their careers to, that they have faithfully served for years. They're entitled to know that they are going to be protected.
Other than protection from retaliation, what does justice look like to your clients?
I think justice looks like working in an environment that's free of gender discrimination, that's committed to equality, that is protective of retaliatory conduct by wrongdoers. I think that's how justice looks. I mean, do we define justice sometimes in monetary terms? Yes, we do. That's what courts do. But justice is a future that protects against gender discrimination, that promotes equality, that provides for a diverse workforce, and that prohibits retaliation.
Could any changes be made at LSU Health that would have you and or your clients say, that will solve our problem, we will pull our lawsuits?
So, we never say never about resolution of a lawsuit. Certainly the resignation of Dr. Ghali as chancellor and chair is a step in the right direction. And certainly that can help promote the healing. So we're open to that type of dialogue, but two people have to talk. And LSU right now is engaging in what I can only describe as a cover-up. They have said they've conducted an investigation, or at least Dr. Ghali said it. We haven't seen the investigation. We don't know what the conclusions are. Nobody's really talking to us. They've placed my client, Dr. Jennifer Warner, on leave illegally in an action that is null and void, and we're seeking the court to declare that on a preliminary injunction basis. So until that dialogue begins on their side, I'm not sure we're going to get there. But hopefully we'll begin that dialogue, and hopefully both parties will speak, and we'll find a resolution. Because one thing that needs to be acknowledged here, my clients have faithfully served this institution. They love this medical school. They want to see this medical school become the best academic institution it can possibly be.
There is an item on the LSU Board of Supervisors agenda today in an executive session that, quote, says, requests to approve personnel arrangement at LSU Health Science Center, Shreveport. Is that what this is about? Replacing Dr. Ghali?
It should be. I mean, nobody really knows what they're going to talk about in executive session. But look, if LSU can conduct a national search for a football coach, if it can conduct a national search for a baseball coach, it can conduct a national search for a chancellor at this academic institution.
Status of your suit against the Health Science Center. Where are you on that? How soon do you anticipate justice for your clients?
Well, the matter is currently at the EEOC. We're waiting on the issuance of a notice of right to sue. But the immediate action is the lawsuit that's been filed by Dr. Jennifer Warner to demand reinstatement. That matter should be heard in a matter of weeks. We believe we're going to be successful in that injunctive hearing, and we hope to have Dr. Warner back at work serving the patients that she loves.
Allison Jones, attorney for the 4 women who have filed some pretty serious allegations. Thanks for your time, ma'am.
No problem. Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.